Hello everyone, Luke here. Welcome to my latest My Team video. It is time for round 11 of the championship, the Austrian Grand Prix from the Red Bull Ring, where we'll be hoping we can get anywhere near to the performance that we did at France. It was a fantastic race, maybe got a bit lucky with the Mercedes and Max Verstappen having some problems with the strategy, but we took our second podium in a row, our first victory of the season, really closing things up now at the top of the championship. 36 points behind Hamilton and Verstappen. Nick picking up a couple of points as well, so he stays in 15th. I am now in 5th position, and the team are in 4th place on 109 points. We've nearly got as many points as we did last season, and we've still got half the season to go. No upgrades though for the Austrian Grand Prix. Hopefully we can put in a similar performance. Could we possibly take our second victory in a row? Right, let's see how qualifying goes then for the Austrian Grand Prix, a race which could be very similar to the French Grand Prix. It is expected to rain in this race towards the end, a bit earlier than it came in France, and it might be a bit heavier as well. So actually fairly similar to what we got way back in Season 1 at Austria. We've had a few races this season where the rain seems to have repeated itself from the previous year. Let's see how we can do in qualifying. How high up the grid can we get? It's been a pretty decent lap so far, braking downhill into turn 4. Very easy to outbrake yourself there and run wide. It is a very simple circuit, this Austrian one. Lap time wise, it's the shortest circuit on the game. Could easily see when esports drivers around here 61, 62 second laps, pretty much standard. We're not doing too bad so far. Could we even get on pole position? A lot's going to depend on how we get these final couple of corners. Very clean through there, just a bit too slow I think through turn 10, and in the end we're not going to be on pole, but it is our best qualifying of the season in 3rd position. So there we are in 3rd position then, our best qualifying of the season, both cars in the top 10 with Nick in 8th. We're starting to see some more consistent performance from both of us. Shame about that final corner. That's really where I lost it. I could have been on pole. A 102.995. Not a bad lap whatsoever. Not a bad lap to put us into a good place in the race. Let's see how it goes.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have the owner driver, Perez, Lance Stroll and Verstappen, Albon, De Vries, Leclerc and Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat and Ocon, Magnussen, Sainz, Lando Norris and Antonio Giovinazzi, Russell, Grosjean, Boccolacci and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Time for the race. What can we do with our best qualifying ever in this My Team series? Obviously, as you're used to now, we're starting in the top 10. We've got to start on the soft tyres. We're just hoping they can go long enough until that transition period, until the intermediates are ready. If this goes to plan, we might be able to get away with doing a one-stop soft to intermediates, depending on how heavy the rain gets, depending on how early the rain comes. We'll just have to wait and see. Strategy is going to be oh so important around here. Can we get that second victory in a row? It's time to find out. It's time to get the race underway. Underway then, not a bad start to the race. Can we go all the way around Hamilton into turn 1? Can we take the lead on the run out of turn 1? Yes, we can indeed. Fantastic start from us. Hamilton's trying to fight back on the ERS. Obviously, there's a bit of wheel banging between the two of us. I'm now going to have to try and go all the way around the outside of turn 3. Have I got enough grip to get a pretty decent exit out of there? He's still fighting with me, but I think I've just about managed to do it. We are into the lead of the race on lap 1. Now it's just keeping it calm for the rest of the lap. Of course, this means that everyone else will be able to get DRS off me in a couple of laps, but we'll just have to cope with that when it comes. Cross that bridge when we come to it, but not a bad start whatsoever. Fantastic getaway Well, I say a fantastic getaway. It didn't feel too good. It's just that Hamilton and Bottas were a lot slower than us, and we were somehow able to find some grip around the outside. So that is not a bad start to the race whatsoever. We are coming across the line in P1 at the end of lap 1. Just wait until the rain comes now. Well, 5 laps done very quickly. Obviously, as you would expect around this track, and I'm just pulling away from Hamilton. 2.3 seconds the gap now. Now that I've broken that DRS window, he's dropping further and further back. I was not expecting this going into this race weekend. The rain is due in about 5 minutes, Jeff said, so should be no problem getting these softs to a point where the rain's due. This is looking like a very straightforward victory at this moment in time, but still a long way to go. First bits of rain appearing on screen now, so gonna have to just be a bit more careful. This should mean that I end up setting the fastest lap of the race, because I can't see anyone else beating it, as it is of course due to rain all the way till the end. So we're not in a bad place so far. Just wait and see if it changes as quick as it did in France. Just waiting for Jeff to tell me to come into the pits and put on the inters. DRS disabled. This is definitely the lap where I noticed coming out of turn 1 and turn 3 the lack of grip was really quite substantial on traction, so going to be very, very careful heading into the pits. Thankfully the game does not punish you for understeering out the pits, just about getting it slowed down in time. Into the pits we go again. One of the racing points deciding to carry on, so Perez staying out on a wet track. This is not ideal for him whatsoever. Not a bad pit stop from the crew. Hopefully Nick doesn't get held up too much. And we are back out on circuit. Lead car on the intermediates. Come out in 4th position, but Kvyat should be a straightforward car to overtake here, because he's going to have absolutely no grip whatsoever on the run into the braking zone. And there we go, past Kvyat, up into 3rd position. Let's just keep it calm and see what the rain's like. See if it stays like this. Even if it does, I think we'll need to pit again for the intermediates. Or will it get heavier? Halfway through the race then, things are going very straightforward. We are now in 1st position. Perez and Leclerc obviously pitting the lap after we pitted, but 8.2 seconds ahead of Stroll. I'm beginning to understand how Lewis Hamilton's felt for the last few seasons. This is just like so straightforward at the moment. Everything's working well. The only thing I think that could cost us is the rain is getting slightly heavier, and if we get the call wrong as to whether to go onto wet tyres or not, we might struggle. But for now, things are going well. Still in the lead. Stroll is 2nd. Lewis Hamilton, championship leader, down in 3rd. Jeff there suggesting that the rain is going to get a bit lighter. That is good news for us. Probably means, as I nearly lose it coming out the final corner. Yeah, Jeff saying 2 laps till the pit window. I think I will pit then as well. Make sure that I'm not putting too much wear on the set of intermediates. As you can see, it is pretty treacherous offline at the moment. There's nothing to report though. Still in the lead of this race. Still looking very comfortable. Still looking very good for that 2nd successive victory. 2nd and final pit stop for another set of the intermediate tyres. We will lose the lead. We should come out around about 5th or 6th position, I think, here. So we'll see on the exit of the pit lane. Nick's in 6th place at the moment, which is very impressive indeed. Just getting a bit of wheel spin on the exit, and we do come out in 5th place behind Alex Albon. These should all be clearing into the pits fairly soon though. All looking good. Just got to keep it calm now for the final 3rd of the race to claim the Austrian Grand Prix. Might actually have to do an on-track overtake here to get past Alex Albon. He's proving quite frustrating to get by at this moment. Am I close enough to send one down the inside into turn 3? That is very late on the brakes, a bit like I was on Kvyat earlier. Have I got the tyre advantage to hold this off on the exit as well? I think he is going to have to yield in the braking zone for turn 3. Turn 4, I should say. And there we go. 4th position. Don't think that was too important to get past him, but we were definitely getting held up. His tyres were wearing, ours are fresher, so we are going to be quicker. Hopefully now we can pull away though. Everyone else has now come into the pits and put the intermediate tyres on for their final stint. So we are back into the lead, nearly 13 seconds ahead of Lance Stroll. 7.5 laps between us and victory. Final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, then catching up to the back of Latifi to lap him. Pretty much the only car we've seen since everyone else came into the pits. You can see there Bottas's car over on the right hand side. He's really having it tough as of late. No points in France, no points in Austria. Perez was another retirement, so we should jump past him in the championship fairly comfortably, as well as Latifi sort of lets us past. Into turn 4 there. I was slightly worried he was just going to keep his nose in and I was going to end up getting whacked from behind a la Montoya and Verstappen back in the day. But this has been, it's been a different race to what we used to. We're used to having to fight our way through the field, and we just got such a good start to the race. We took the lead early on. We've been in the lead ever since, only really pit stops that have changed where we've been out on track, and it is 2 wins out of 2 for us. We cross the line to take the victory here in Austria.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
Confirmation then of our victory. Nick finishing in 6th place, by far his best result he's had with the team. We are now up to 4th in the driver's standings within a race victory of the top at the halfway point. I was definitely not expecting this, especially after we didn't get any points in Azerbaijan. Nick has even moved up now ahead of Novice actually, so Vettel's gone further up. Nick's moved ahead of Novice up into 14th in the championship. We stay 4th in the constructors, but when you consider a couple of races ago we were behind AlphaTauri and we're now 63 points ahead of them, it's safe to say it has gone very well for us all of a sudden here. But yeah, we'll just carry on, see if we can keep this form up for the second half of the season. So our home race of Silverstone next time around. We didn't do that well in season 1 there. Hopefully now though we've shown we've got a car that can perform at a lot of circuits here in season 2. Before that we've got a sponsorship renewal, and we're going to have to renew Nick's contract as well. Hopefully that'll be fairly straightforward. Can't imagine why he'd reject it. Thank you so much everyone for watching this one. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time around for the British Grand Prix. Goodbye.